Hello, are we live? We're live? All right. Welcome to our first ever Young Life virtual banquet. My name is Justin Hayes. I'm the area director for Clark County Young Life. We're so glad you could join us either at the home of a host or at your own home. We look forward to telling you all about Young Life in Clark County and how we can see it grow this year. First, can we take a second and thank our hosts with a round of applause? Thank you all for opening your homes, and a special thank you to our sponsors. Our theme this year is Grow. How do we see Young Life grow in Clark County? Grow in the number of places we reach kids, grow in the number of kids we reach at each school, but also grow in the depth of our message to change kids' lives with the good news of Jesus Christ. We also hope tonight to grow the number of people helping us to impact teens. In order to grow great fruit, you do have to have times of pruning. This year, due to the COVID pandemic, we have had to prune some of the ways we reach kids. Our contact with students, our clubs, and unfortunately, our summer camps were all pruned. And yet, we had amazing fruit this year with the students we reached. Tonight, you're gonna hear about some of these stories and about how you can join us in sharing the gospel. First up, we have Terry Darso, our Capernaum coordinator.
Hello, my name is Terry Darso, and I'm a special education teacher at Jason Lee Middle School. And last fall, I became the coordinator of our Capernaum ministry for students with special needs. Up until the shutdown, we have been able to have monthly clubs, plus we added outings, taking students to a pumpkin patch, the movies, and an ice cream shop. We have been able to share the Lord and build relationships with about 20 students through Capernaum. These friends are truly a blessing to work with. My favorite part of working with our Capernaum team is having a platform to share the love of Jesus. Here we have a short video of a Capernaum student named Zach and how this ministry can have a far-reaching impact.
Zachary loves people and he loves Jesus. He loves to serve. Zachary has Down syndrome. Sometimes he calls it up syndrome. Zachary's mom was a teen mom, and Zachary was her second child. She was on her own when she found out he had Down syndrome. It was a scary, lonely time.
I feel hard to have a job and have me and my sister.
The first time he came to Young Life, we realized pretty quickly that Zachary knew Jesus. He just had not found a place where he could grow in his faith and where he could really become a disciple and exercise his gifts.
I love Jesus so much. Because he has forgiven my sins and he died for me. God is my amazing Father.
I think it was the first place that Zachary really belonged was in Young Life. We had a friend who has a disability who shared he needed prayer, that he would find friends who would see him for who he is. As he talked about it, I said, Zachary, would you like to pray for Joey? And so he said, yeah. And then I'm driving, there's this long pause of silence. And at one point I said, Zach, are you gonna pray? And he said, first I listen to Jesus and see what he wants me to pray. Zachary listens to Jesus.
I know Jesus speaking to me in heaven. I feel it in my heart. I have to listen to him because he's my Father.
Zachary works at a local grocery store. He's a bagger. He loves his job. People love him. And he realized that the freedom he had with that job was not just to go to the movies and go out to eat, but that he had plenty to give away.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
I like waste money for teen moms and babies to go at camp for their first time.
As he does, he's praying for the teen mom that he'll get to send to camp over the summer.
I waste money for Jessica to go at camp for her first time.
Raising money to go to camp isn't easy because that's not the first thing that you would save all this money to go towards this. No, I save all my money to go towards my son.
Zachary didn't want to just pay for a Young Life's girl to go to camp. He wanted to be part of the child care team because of his love for babies. And so he hopped on a bus and headed up to Woodleaf, and he was matched with Jessica's little boy, Damien, as only God could have arranged it.
One day I happened to stop into Zach's nursery where he was working and he's holding Damien, and I thought, wait a minute, Zach is Damien's caregiver? Because I wasn't in charge of that.
Seeing someone sponsor me, and I got to build a connection with them. It's so amazing how my son looks at Zach. And I see God's work right there, because that's love.
It's worth it. And God changed my life too. Jesus loves me. I like Jesus loves Damien. And Damien is his son too. Why? Because that's Damien's father. To love him so much.
I would love to be a Capernaum buddy ever since I met Zach, you know. I'm so grateful. It's amazing to have people like Zach in this world.
Zachary's been a partner to me in ministry. When he speaks, people hear and listen. I think there will be barriers broken in terms of how kids with disabilities are treated wherever his story is told.
Wasn't that a great video? I love how the Lord works. My name is Stephanie Sabatke. I am the Young Lives Coordinator here in Clark County. This year has had a lot of challenges, but when it seemed like we had all our previous girls move on, the Lord sent us some new girls, all who are young and who are looking to connect. We've not been able to have club, as Young Life has required us to keep our interactions to one-on-ones. But we have still seen fruit, amazing fruit. As my team and I spend time with these girls, we're reminded that just being present with them means a lot, and it creates opportunities for what we call God Talks, and these have been amazing. I recently asked a young mom what she liked about Young Lives. Here's what she said. Number 1, community. Number 2, she never felt alone. And number 3, she always felt surrounded by love. Many of these young moms and their children struggle with having a safe place to live. So we are partnering with Common Ground to provide a group home for some of these moms and their children. The place is called Allie's House, and when it's ready, it will be the only group home for girls under the age of 18. Keep an eye out for more about Allie's House in the coming months. So I hope, however you can, that you decide to get involved in Clark County Young Life. It can make an eternal difference. Now here is Matt.
Hey all, I'm Matt, and I'm on mission staff here in Clark County, and I'm also the team leader at Hudson's Bay's club. The last 2 years have been going great. We've been meeting kids, club has been growing, and we've even taken a bunch of kids to camp. And I'm here with Emiliano today, one of those that's gone to camp from Hudson's Bay, to tell us a little bit about his Young Life experience. So tell me, Emilio, how did you hear about Young Life and why'd you start coming?
So the way I found out about Young Life was the first time I went to a club or a event was what would it be? It would be the food at McDonald's.
Yeah, like eat the menu.
Eat the menu. And we were at a volleyball game, just decided to walk down to a McDonald's random day. And I saw my teacher, Mr. Carlson, and he introduced me to Matt and DeMarcus. Just had a fun time. He said that they do it every once in a while and that we should start coming more, and that's how I found out about Young Life.
Now, what has your experience at Young Life been? What's been the best part?
It's been fun, just all around, meeting new people, just getting closer with God, just all fun, games. It's a great time. And I think my favorite, it would be camp, because it was just a week away from the world, just getting closer to God, getting closer to people I didn't think I would be close with. Just making new relationships with people, from around Washington that, I would have never met if I didn't go.
Emiliano went to camp with us back in summer 2019. And so tell us, while he was there, he made a decision to follow Jesus and commit his life that way. So how has walking with Jesus impacted your life?
I think it's changed my life by just being able to have someone to talk to when, you feel alone or, there's no one else that's up, and you could just talk to him and there's no one judging you, and he just betters your life, My mom got sick, and, I had him to talk to, and I think he helped, and I'm glad he did. And I think if I wouldn't have gone, my relationship was kind of there, but just going and getting with Young Life and hearing all you guys' stories, I feel like that really changed my relationship, and it made it for the better.
Well, thanks for sharing with us, Emiliano. And thank you for your continued support of Young Life. And we hope that you can see the value of investing in the ministry here in Clark County and the impact it has on students like Emiliano.
Thanks, Matt and Emiliano. That's why we do what we do. Now, I want to share with you a couple of thoughts about growth. We've already talked about fruit and the pruning we had to do, but one of the keys for growing fruit is water. For us, the essential component is the Spirit of the Lord. He is leading this ministry. Although we've had to overcome things this year, God has continued to compel us through His love to continue to share that love with others. In January, I was at one of our Ridgefield leaders' homes. We were there for a prayer meeting, and he brought this verse to us. It's from the prophet Isaiah, and after reminding the people of bringing them out of slavery, the Lord says to Isaiah 43:18 and 19, "Do not remember the past events. Pay no attention to the things of old. Look, I am about to do something new. Even now it is coming. Do you not see it? Indeed, I will make a way in the wilderness, rivers in the desert." Rivers in the desert. God makes things possible that seem impossible, makes things grow where they never have before. We will not be able to do Young Life like we have in the past, but the Lord will make a way in the future. In different forms, God will give us an opportunity to share the gospel. Will you help us do this? What could you do to help? Well, I want to share with you some of the things we have done. First, we have overcome by innovations. Instead of going to school to make contact with students, we did drive-by deliveries where we drove to students' houses, held up signs that said we love you, gave them small gifts, and let them know we still care, that you are not forgotten, you are not alone. Instead of going to summer camp, we held socially distanced lake days with boats and games and rotated around to different activities. And we continued to share the gospel with kids. We had 13 middle schoolers receive Christ on our middle school lake day. Instead of getting down and living by fear, we have committed to pray for students and share the gospel with students, even if it is one at a time. Finally, to grow, we need roots. Lots of roots. Roots that go down deep and give stability and feed the trees. Our roots are deep in Clark County. I recently met a World War II veteran, and he had been to Young Life before serving in the Navy. Yes, before 1945, Young Life has been giving teenagers hope here in Vancouver and sharing Jesus with students. Our roots today are from Adult Committee and the many donors who financially support this mission of Young Life. Our funds will go to help us keep our staff going to kids, and if we get enough tonight, we will be hiring even more people to go and build new growth in new ministry, in new kids, and new clubs. I am asking you, will you add strength to our mission by becoming one of our essential roots that sustain this ministry? We are looking to raise $60,000 tonight. It's going to take sacrifice and commitment, but what a better way to affect the future than to invest in our students all over Clark County. Will you help us? Now, I'd like you to get out your giving cards. Your hosts have these. They can give them all to you. You can take a look at it. You got it? Okay, I'd like to draw your attention to this monthly giving section. We're asking for monthly donors. In fact, if we have everyone that's watching this tonight in their household commit to an increase or a new monthly donation of only $50 a month, we will meet that goal. Monthly giving sustains us best because we can plan by it, and you'll get to be a part of Young Life all year long. Of course, you can give a one-time donation. $50 a month is equal to a $600 one-time donation. You can always give more. I pray some of you will give $1,000 or $5,000, but I want you to know every gift is appreciated, and it's important. You'll also see a way to get involved. You can check a box at the bottom to become a part of our team in other ways. I pray most of all that you will say yes to something tonight. You have the option of giving online by scanning the QR code on this card or by going to our website, clarkcounty.younglife.org, clicking on the Banquet donation button on the homepage. Once you've filled out your sheet, put it in an envelope and give it to your host. We'll be collecting these in the coming days. I pray that God's blessing on you. And I thank you for all the kids in Clark County who will hear about Jesus because of your donation. Now, before we go, we got one final word from Nicole Smith.
Hey, I'm Nicole Smith, staff associate here in Clark County working with Wildlife, our ministry to middle school students around the county. Each year at camp, at the end of the week, we give kids a chance to have a say-so, where they verbalize their decision if they've decided to start a relationship with Jesus. Here's a short video of kids from around the world at Young Life camps and their say-so. If you listen to the words of these students, I pray you'll imagine any kids you may know saying these words, and what it would mean to hear these words from kids all around Clark County. Thanks so much for coming tonight. We hope you had a great time. God bless.
I see you, beloved.
My name is Inessa, and I accepted Jesus Christ this week.
Hey, my name is Diego, and I came home this week.
I'm Carmen, and I've decided to begin a new relationship with Jesus.
I'm Andrew, and I gave my life to Christ this week.
Hi, my name is Michaela, and I have come home this week.
Hi, I'm Vaughn.
I'm Caroline.
I'm Tyson.
I'm Macy.
Hi, I'm Thomas.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Jess.
I'm Julia.
Hey, my name is Vinny.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Michael. Noah.
I'm Matt.
I'm Courtney.
I'm Drew.
I'm Alexis. I made a first-time
commitment to Christ. And I made my first real commitment to Jesus Christ.
I've committed myself to Christ.
And I'm ready for God to be the center of my life.
My name's Henry, and I choose God.
I am Tyler. I recommitted myself to Christ.
And I've permanently committed myself to Jesus.
And I finally found God this week.
And on July 24th, I started my path with Christ.
Yo soy Natalie. Quiero seguir a Jesucristo.
I'm Samantha, and I came home to the Lord.